Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Bloodsword. Now, this is going to be another one-off special, a bit like when I was running Book 2 and I did a best of 3 against the Icelack, and in this case, it will be against Hunguk the Pirate King. As you may recall, in the previous episode, we swiped the emeralds and did a runner just as he returned to his cabin. And we legged it. We chickened out, we buggered off, we ran away, because we got what we came for and we didn't particularly need to stay around and fight an epic, massive Chaos Warrior, Raider, Reaver, Ravager of the Ocean Waves. The way he's described, he's clearly not what most of us would nowadays think of as a pirate. The word pirate is being used by the Ta'ashim not in the common freebooters and buccaneers sense, you know, pirates on the Spanish Main, but rather in the fact that he raids them, he sails around in his ship, robbing people, beating them up, killing them, and he's wearing a massive cobbled together set of armour, iron plates just sort of bolted on and strapped on. And if we defeat him, we learn that he is rather like the Chaos Warriors of old, in that his armour is fused to his flesh and cannot be removed, but that whenever it gets so badly damaged that it can't protect him, it doesn't function anymore, he'll just stick a new bit of armour on there. And that's why his armour looks like such a jangled, jumbled mess. Now, there are two versions of the Hunguk fight, and I'm going to be doing the easiest one for a reason that will become readily apparent. So, it's possible that we could have come across his cabin and ran out of time before we found the emeralds. Now, with the Enchantress's premonition spell, it's basically impossible, or at least highly improbable, that we would get to that situation. In fact, I wasted as much time as possible in my search to ensure that Hunguk would interrupt us, arriving just as we found the emeralds and were ready to leave. So it's possible without the spell, and also if we opened the side door, the other door in his cabin. Now, the other door in his cabin opens to the sort of hellish mishmash of space between worlds that he has been sailing through. We do not go through it, but it does waste some time, and he will come through it. Whether we have opened the door or not drastically affects the upcoming encounter. Hunguk is a great character, and it's a shame that we got to see him and run away. If we were to try and face him, it would be an epic showdown. So this, of course, did not happen. This did not happen in our story. But it is what might have happened in the stories the classic Ta'ashim storytellers would relate if they ever heard of our exploits here. Now, last time we searched his desk, and then we searched for shelves and found the emeralds in a jar. If we did not search for shelves, and instead either ran out of time due to having not prepared and used the premonition spell, well, you don't prepare the premonition spell, it's an out-of-combat spell, then we are given one last chance to find the emeralds. We are offered the opportunity to search the desk, potentially again wasting time, or search for shelves, which will allow us to find the emeralds just as he arrives. Hunguk has some great entrance monologues, by the way. He's a wonderful character. And actually, if we defeat him, it proves that he's not actually dead. He just is so badly hurt he stops fighting us and goes back to lie down in his bed and regenerate again. And he says, no, I'm not going to fight you, take your treasure and leave, you know. In all fairness, to get to that part, we would have to suffer such heavy losses, but we'll get to that soon, don't worry. So let's see. If we didn't have the divination spell running, we could potentially have run out of time before searching the desk and then have an opportunity to search the desk for the treasure. And then he would come in and disturb us. So let's first look at the option of searching the desk. Not this one. This one. You scatter the charts. Nothing. Okay, so this is with the portal already open because we've opened the door. This is the one where we have not opened the portal. Yeah. The other door to the cabin suddenly flies open. Harsh, grey-blue light floods in. A figure stands there whose shoulders are as broad as the beam of a Mercanian longboat. Even in this tall cabin he has to stoop. His harness of pitted iron plates tolls like a bell as he raises his arms. In each hand he holds a gore-splattered axe. Spattered. Spattered is a word, yes. It's rarer than splattered and worthy of usage. "Who presumes to steal the Reaver's hoard?" he thunders. "You'll pay a toll of blood for this villainy." You size him up. You are not eager to fight this battle. Hunguk is no longer a mortal man. The centuries have turned him into a mythic figure. The Reaver, the Master Mariner, the Lord of the Seven Seas. Unfortunately, he stands in the way of your quest for the blood sword. If you must overcome him to obtain the emeralds which you need, then so be it. Hunguk has a fighting prowess of 10, a psychic ability of 9, a damage per blow of 6 dice, an awareness of 9, an armor rating of 5, and 100 endurance points. This is the harder version of the fight, and if we had failed to find the emeralds, this fight is not optional. Cannot afford to flee. We must get the emeralds. Also, Hunguk strikes twice every round, once with each of his 2 axes. This is lethal. Especially with an awareness of 9, because it means he's going first, and he will target the same person twice in the first round, unless he manages to kill him in one blow. He is immune to the spell of servile enthrallment. No mere mortal could hope to command the Pirate King. However, we also have the option of having opened the portal and deciding to search for charts on the table. You scatter the charts. Nothing. The emeralds are not here. Perhaps on the shelf? You glance at the dimensional portal and see the time has run out. Hunguk's silhouette fills the frame. He steps through and his sharp grey eyes widen as he sees you. In stature he resembles a rugged rock, clad in iron armour and strung with kelp. He seems an ancient and unconquerable foe. The axes in his hands are caked with gore. When he speaks, you hear the voice of thunder. "Who are these mortal mice who scratch in my larder while I roam the world's waves? Throughout this middle world there are many thieves, and most reckless of all are those who bring their sea steeds to plunder the Pirate King's hoard." He clashes his axes. "Come, you land pests! Put up your swords against the Lord of the Sea Paths!" This version of Hunguk only has 70 endurance and an armor rating of 4. Now, if we defeat him, we learn that he was fighting some epic mighty beast out there on the other plane of existence. I'm not sure what opening the door to the portal, if that weakens his link so it's harder for him to get back and distracts him or something, but we don't know why there's 2 different versions of the stat blocks, but this one is significantly kinder, and it's the one I'll be facing against. Now, in terms of initiative, Hunguk goes first, then all of us. This is one of those fights rather like the Ice Lacken, which can be rapidly condemned to death by initiative. He can kill any of our heroes with a single hit. It's more likely to be 2 hits, but because he gets 2 attacks, fortunately he will randomize his attacks and won't always target the same hero with both attacks. However, when he goes first, he'll go for the nearest hero and he'll have no other targets to choose from. This is, of course, particularly lethal. I'm not going up against the 100 endurance version of Hunguk. You see I've lowered his endurance to 70 and his armour is 4 instead of 5. Back in the day, I think I managed to beat him once. in a fight. And I think even then, possibly 2 of the heroes died. It is brutal. Now, as I mentioned towards the end of the last episode, there are a lot of fights with this level of lethality in this adventure. They are all avoidable, apart from 2 that are this harsh, almost. But no, because you can run away from those, so they're technically avoidable. Right? I'll include encounters you can flee from as avoidable. Essentially, if he hits with both his attacks in the first round, we're probably down a party member. Now, everyone's on full health because they were last time, and I've had Ariadne prepare the sword thrust spell, just in case it helps. There's no point using psychic spells against him because his psychic ability is 9, so he's going to resist almost everything. The Eye of the Tiger would be great for us, but we would need to be attacking, which would lower our defenses, and he'd hit us a lot. Remy has an awareness of 8 because he hasn't quite hit that sweet spot where he goes up to a 9 yet, which means Hunguk is going first. Unfortunately, any plans I formulate will rely heavily on how many of his attacks hit and how much damage they do in the first round. This is definitely a fight where Remy would use his quick thinking ability from book 1, if he lives long enough to use it. This is probably one of those defense fights, but let's begin at the beginning. Round 1. First attempt. Hunguk staggers and storms. Remember, he's stooping under the ceiling because he's so tall. Surges forwards to attack Remy with his great clanging axes. Now, Remy is a slightly harder target than usual. That's a hit. And then a shocking 66 damage. 26 minus 2 is 24. Remy is out of it. There we go. So Alwyn closes to present a target and attacks. Did I say this was going to be a short video? I know at the end of the last video I said this would probably be a short video. That's a hit, so we'll get some damage. 6 tragic minus 4 is 2 whole points, taking Hunguk down to 68. Now, this is one of those instances where Brother Kern's stunning technique could potentially come in useful. I mean, it won't, but it might. He, Oh! So that gives Hunguk a move of 5 squares, so... Yeah, but we don't get to move before the fight starts. So Brother Kern comes surging in to attack. Not expecting miracles here, but it would be nice. That is a hit. 1d6 plus 2. 3 points, doesn't even get through the armor. Ariadne attempts her sword thrust spell. That is a success. That's good. 3d6 plus 3. 12 points. 8 after armor knocks him down to a mere 60. And because we had to move to get next to him. Now, what we could have done, seeing that he dropped the Trickster, is we could have both defended, and that would probably have been wiser. Anyway, Hunguk will go first. Top to bottom. He goes... for the healer. Of course he goes for the healer. Right. So. That's a hit. 26 minus 3 is 23. Takes Brother Kern out of the fight. And then for his second attack, obviously, he will go for Sir Alwyn. Hit. 23 minus 3 is 20. Puts our bold warrior on 4 endurance points. So at this point, obviously, Sir Alwyn will defend, and Ariadne will prepare another sword thrust spell. Hunguk will attack again, now on 3d6. That's a miss. That's a hit. I mean, it doesn't matter what he rolls, his minimum damage is going to be enough. So that takes Alwyn out of the fight. At which point, he's still got his second attack, so he'll come storming over here and do it. I think we know how this is going to go. Yep. 16. -2 is 14. She lives on 6 endurance points. But she's not going to beat him, is she? She's got a sword thrust spell ready. Fails to cast it. On Hunguk's turn, he'll just get 2 attacks. If he rolls 6 ones, she'd have 2 endurance points left. Let's do an attack anyway. There we go. 19. Yeah, she's dead. Okay, end of fight. Well, that was the first attempt. And I did say it would be short, didn't I? Right, so. Yeah, this... We kind of need him to miss with one of his attacks on Remy for us to stand a chance. Remember, under classic rules, people die. They die. They don't have a chance of survival at the end of a fight. So, second attempt. Hunguk comes in. Now, remember, this fight doesn't necessarily need to be balance checked that much because it's completely avoidable. This fight is an opportunity for the player to learn from their mistakes and go, okay, well, I didn't find the emeralds in any of those places. I'll have to try again. You know, make a new bunch of heroes or, you know, and see how we do. Right, so he comes in to attack Remy, who is a hard target. So that +1 is going to have to try. Nope. Second attack. Okay, he's dead. Right. So 24. He's alive. Not anymore, he's not. And then we're going to be repeating the whole hideous thing. So, let's try Sir Alwyn and Brother Kern defend. And Ariadne attempt her sword thrust spell. This would work on Classic if he'd missed the Trickster at least once. She casts the spell. 12 is 8 points after armor, taking him down to 62. And I should, of course, remove her spell. Round 2. Hunguk could go there, but he's going to go here to be nearer another character to threaten. Right. Our warrior is defending. That's a hit. That's a hit. Oh, there we go. There we go. Right. 20 -3 is going to be 17, and another 15 on top of that is a dead warrior. Hunguk is a powerful foe, and yeah, Brother Kern defends. Ariadne prepares another sword thrust, but I think it's all over. Because losing 2 party members that early on... Here we go. We are defending, so that's an 11. That's a miss. And a 16, a double miss. Excellent. So we got a sword thrust spell ready. Obviously more defense. That's a pass. 14. After armor is 10. 52. And then Hunguk will attack again with his 3d6 and try to miss twice. That's a hit. 21 damage. 18 after. Okay. 2 endurance remaining. And now for his second attack. That's a hit. Fight's over. She can prepare another... Whatever she does, she's dead next turn. Unless she defends. And if she defends, she's not attacking. There's no party members left. We'll go for the third attempt. And it's okay for the fight to be this deadly if it's an unavoidable one and it's a lesson to be learned. Third try. So we really, really need him to roll high here. 13. Excellent. His second attack will probably hit now. Yes. But if we're lucky, he will roll low enough. 24 minus 2 is 22. Remy has 2 endurance points remaining. Right. Remy defends. Sir Alwyn will move up and attack. Because what we need to do is present... If he just stands there defending, he just gets killed inevitably. So we need to move in and present targets. What we might need to do is take it in turns. So Alwyn moves in and attacks. That's a hit. And let's try and get a decent damage total. Why is the game always rolling so low for his damage? I don't know, but it's damage, okay? Takes him down to 68. So Brother Kern will stay here and defend. Firing an arrow isn't worth it against an armor value of 4. Ariadne will attempt to cast her spell. 9 is 1 point too high. That is a failure. Next round, top to bottom. Hunguk will choose his targets. He goes for Remy. 3d6 plus 1. Oh god, game over. Game over. 23 damage, dead trickster. And then he doesn't need to choose his second target, he just needs to roll some dice. Hits for warrior. For 23, 20 damage. Takes him down to 4. So Alwyn would have to defend. Brother Kern would have to move in and attack. Because you can't move and defend. And I believe that misses by 1. It does. So then Ariadne attempts her spell. And fails, and at that point it's game over. Hunguk selects his targets. That is the defending warrior, which hits, which means he's out of the fight. Yeah. Bit predictable. And then second attack on the non-defending sage. Also hits. For 25 down to 22 damage, out of the fight completely from full health. Gone. And then Ariadne attempts her spell, which succeeds. 11 points is going to be 7 after armor. Takes him down to 61. And then he absolutely brutally kills her. I don't even need to roll for that. So there you are. Just an example of the reason why I ran away from that fight. I did say it'd be tough. It's very hard, and basically you would need him to miss with one or both, either miss with both of his attacks on his first turn, or miss with one of them and do low enough damage that you would survive the blow, which is highly unlikely. I'm gonna wrap this one up here. It's a tough fight, but it deserves to be tough. And there's at least 1 or 2 other fights on this level, on this magnitude of difficulty coming up in the adventure, which are only avoidable because you can run away from them. You have to literally survive the first few attacks before you can flee. So, whew, yeah. I think there's some fights in book 4 or 5 with enemies with 1,000 endurance, which you're, and like fighting prowess 11, where you're just clearly not supposed to beat. And I think those are also punishment fights for if you messed up and didn't avoid the combat somehow. I don't know what they're going to be like, but when I come to them, I suppose I'll find out, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll manage to avoid most of the lethal stuff. Alright, well, yeah, I'm going to wrap this one here. See you all in the next one, which I'm going to record sometime in the next sort of 10, 15, 20 minutes. And I will continue the actual adventure itself. Hope you've all enjoyed this little combat demonstration, and I'll see you all next time. And yes, Hunguk the Pirate King is an epic legendary monster who deserves to be this powerful, and we really should not fight him. Bye for now, everyone. Stay heroic, and I'll see you all next time.